things are everywhere. Twitter memes, your favorite videos, football kits. I even saw a steak advert on a wedding proposal yesterday. Do you understand how mental that is? Do you, Clarence, take Kathleen to be steak? It's pronounced steak. Okay, let's go again, everyone. Quick. You can barely say hello to your loved ones without seeing this logo somewhere. I think it might even be sponsoring real life at this point. Fucking hell. But are steak adverts just a little joke, or could they be a more serious issue for everybody? This might be the most frustrating trend that's happened on Twitter, like, to this day, you know. Outside of the racism we now get since the takeover, and outside of all the sex bots that are under everything, and outside all of the blue tick bots that are underneath everything, and outside of the right-wing politics, and outside of the censorship. If you haven't spent much time on X recently, it's X named Twitter. I'll always call you Twitter. Don't you worry about it, baby. You may have missed this trend, but in essence, lots of accounts, predominantly football Twitter accounts, received sponsorship offers recently, and they are getting paid by stake to watermark images, memes, videos, and anything else that they've crafted by editing the logo and a gamble aware sign down at the bottom of whatever picture it may be. And you simply cannot get away from it. Now, Stake is a betting company that was opened in Curacao, and if you don't know where that is, neither do I. It's got offices globally, but basically it's like an online gambling site and casino website. But they're known for being a little bit controversial and backing, like, out their products and projects. For example, their main partners are Sauber's Formula 1 team and also Drake.
Trying to play some roulette, to be honest. Feel me?
Both known for finishing last in their respective battles, as well as links to UFC and racing drivers in terms of partners. They're basically everywhere, including adverts, of which these adverts really started to take the piss when they bought space on Everton's home kit. Drake made the company most known for some really outrageous bets over the last few years, some hundreds of thousands, some in the millions. Due to his curse, those bets being ones that undoubtedly lost him all of the money that he betted in the first place.
Sick, Drake. I hate you like I'm young.
And yeah, it's progressed a lot in terms of popularity since then. But in late 2024, they decided to take up a whole new marketing strategy by approaching lots of accounts and like aggregators, I guess, of news and memes and stuff over on Twitter and paying them to put the Stake logo watermarked at the bottom of whatever like pictures or tweets that they do, a certain amount per month or per week, I assume, for a fixed fee, and often using images that are reposted from other accounts or are just completely plagiarized memes. Things that these people don't have the copyright for and probably shouldn't be splashing new sponsors over the top of. And as I said, a lot of these are football Twitter accounts. At this point, I'm convinced United Trey might genuinely have a Stake logo on his casket at the end of it all. People who run FT accounts now have a whole new perspective when they post a tweet about a family bereavement, but they've slapped a Stake watermark on the bottom of it and earned themselves £575. Easy money! There's very limited morals involved, but at the end of the day, they're getting the bag and earning themselves money, I guess. And also at the start, it was kind of quite light-hearted. You know, it was just a picture of like a scoreline that someone had screenshotted from Google. Or maybe at most a meme that had been around for years or something, rather than what it's become now. People didn't take it too seriously and just saw these accounts as complete sellouts, but at this point it's taken on a whole new life form. Like at this point, when Elon Musk goes to bed, he dreams about Paolo Di Canio, a Cybertruck with a C4 in it, and this logo splashed across the whole scene. And at the end of the day, this type of thing works in advertisement. It's become a meme, like NordVPN sponsoring YouTube videos or... It's like, that's just the exact same thing that's happened here. People don't really like Stake, but they see it everywhere, so now they know what it is. It's an all promotion is good promotion type of standpoint. But the thing is, I don't think this would work with other betting companies. Imagine a William Hill logo at the bottom of a badly edited troll football meme that uses a picture that's not been funny since 2007. The average gambling addict of a Twitter user is going to be going into disarray after 4 weeks of seeing a Betfred logo on every tweet ever.
I was getting up in the morning betting on Lithuanian under-20 basketball matches.
Generally speaking, it's not very healthy for the website or for the people that use it. And not surprisingly, it's getting looked into by a lot of bodies that deal with this sort of gambling advertising. The UK Advertising Standards Authority stated in 2024 they were going to monitor how Stake advertise, as not only do they violate Twitter's terms of conditions in terms of like hidden advertisements, which never seems to get punished for some reason, even though there's always a little community note to suggest otherwise, and also just general gambling laws, because you can't regulate gambling like advertising adverts that are everywhere on Twitter and who they're seen by, aka young children a lot of the time. Either way, Stake have lost their license to actually operate in the UK anyway, so even if you were to try and sign up to use the website, you can't anymore. So we're seeing these adverts for no fucking reason in the first place. I'm seeing Stake at the bottom of every tweet for them to not even reach a target audience because it's aimed at some other gambler in Singapore. Like, please, at least just crop it if we're UK-based guys. And the crazy thing is, there's actually been some people that have come out and talked about how much they've been offered, or the fact they have been offered, generally speaking, deals by Stake. We've got Dylan here, who works with United District, and he says that they got offered a similar deal to the Stake one from a different company for about £5 per 100k views, which for them, in terms of the impressions they get, being 25 million every 7 days, they'd earn like £1,000 a week. Which, to be fair, as a side hustle, is not that bad, realistically, especially with a Twitter account. You don't really earn that much money. Well, you don't earn that much money at all on Twitter. You can a little bit now with the whole blue tick system, but generally speaking, you're kind of just looking at sponsorship deals anyway, so it does make sense. But usually how those work is you tweet something and then a hashtag ad, or you tweet a company, or you retweet their tweets rather than adding a logo at the bottom. I'm even seeing imposters turn up on the timeline now that are using the same branding as Stake, but it's a different company. That's just a stupid idea. Who the fuck is running those companies? Because at least make the color different. Otherwise, people are just going to assume that it's Stake still. But one thing that Dylan says in response again after this to the number of impressions that he got is that it's completely illegal, because at the end of the day, these Stake watermarks are being splashed upon content that is owned by other people. Like, I'm seeing Premier League highlights with a Stake logo at the bottom. The Premier League isn't sponsored by Stake. They don't want to be sponsored by Stake. That's not how this works, okay? You can't even take a picture of, like, I don't know, a Manchester United player. Let's say Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United aren't sponsored by Stake. They don't want to see images of their players going around on the internet with a betting company that they're not even getting any money from attached at the bottom. Using already copyrighted content, earn yourself a brand deal. Don't do that. It's not legal. And I know it's hard to police a little bit because it's happening so much, so many people are doing it, but you are gonna get clamped at some point by the law. Once the Premier League have realized that they can't police dodgy Amazon Fire Sticks that show you highlights of a football match before it's even started yet, they're gonna turn their attention to this and people are gonna get smacked about by it. The Stake are controversial anyway before any of this even happened. The company that ran their UK operations before they lost their license is called TGP Europe, and it was fined £315,000 in 2023 for anti-money laundering charges, and were also massively discouraged from being used in the UK when they offered an incredible deal of giving you a $10 bet if you'd wagered $5,000 during that week. Now, I'm no numerical expert, okay? Alright, I did mathematics at A level, so I therefore do think I'm qualified to say 10 and 5,000 are slightly different numbers. If I spent £5,000 on like a luxury guitar and all I got for free afterwards was the plectrum to play it with, I'm gonna slide tackle you in your eardrum. I'd rather not get anything for free. I'd rather just the honor of saying that I bought that thing. Let a man spend $5,000 unprovoked on betting. No, don't let him. If someone's gonna do that and they're your friend, don't let them do that. What I mean is a condescending little $10 free bet afterwards is not gonna help the situation when he's already slapped his mortgage down on the table. And in terms of Everton's perspective, this campaign also used images of Everton players, which didn't go down too well with their fan base. Speaking of Everton, Stake paid them £10 million per year to be the title sponsor on the front of their shirts, but given it looks like betting companies won't be present on the front of Premier League shirts, you know, moving forwards very soon, obviously a new deal is going to have to be found for the Toffees who've just moved into their new stadium. And on the topic of blue for Stake, this was another like element of controversy for them, because again, back to those Twitter videos and Twitter pictures, yeah, you can't control what your brand actually ends up on top of. And unfortunately for them, like 1,000 men during the course of 24 hours ended up on top of Bonnie Blue, a video of her talking about how she wanted to sleep with new students at Nottingham Trent University. Now again, this was someone that was getting paid by Stake to just tweet generally, I assume, and generally speaking put their logo over a certain amount of tweets or pictures per week or per month. They probably didn't expect that person, or certainly didn't ask that person to put their logo over that content, because it was already pretty controversial and generally speaking grim. And at a time where Everton were already receiving a lot of backshots in the league, Stake didn't exactly need any more from the content that it was posted on Twitter. In conclusion, stop this. I know it's a marketing strategy that is controversial and that generally speaking has worked in regards to people knowing what a stake is, but I'm just about as offended by this stake as I am by one that's well done, because I just don't want to see it on Twitter Twitter anymore. Yeah, it's getting on everybody's tits, metaphorically and quite literally in terms of the content that it's turning up on over on Twitter, which is just a cesspit these days anyway. But it's also like such a problem for the football Twitter space. As I said, again, I'm seeing so many posts that are clearly stake sponsored that are appearing over already copyrighted content or highlights from games. If you're doing that, you're gonna get in trouble. Like, I don't care what contract you've signed, but it's gonna get you into issues. And generally, from the rest of us that log on to Twitter for 3 minutes every day, read tweets, and then leave heavily depressed, I just want to say that at the very least, this trend ending would contribute to slightly less depression. What do you guys make of this as well? If you guys use Twitter a lot at home, is it something that's pissing you off as much as it's annoying me? I feel like I'm just ranting about Twitter at the moment. I did the video about ITK agents, now I've done this one as well, but it is genuinely infuriating. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.